Hi everybody, I'm Mr. Sorenzo. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. In this video, I have a guitar challenge for you. That's right. But before I get to the challenge itself, let me give you this very brief background because I think it matters a lot. As most of you guys know, especially if you're a returning viewer, I do a lot of song analysis in my YouTube channel, and one thing you guys probably have noticed is that at the beginning of the song, I always play a portion of that song on the guitar. And this is not by default, this is actually by design. I do this deliberately because I'm a firm believer that if I play at least a portion of the song or the whole song, I get a better understanding of that song when I analyze the song, when I listen to the song, right? As opposed to just sitting there listening and reacting. When you play a part of the song, it forces you to think about the song in a slightly different way. Now, recently, I got badly hooked on Band-Maid's song, Bestie. You can count on me anytime you need. That song? Right. And I thought I should really analyze this song, because it's a great rock song, right? But before I do that, I was like, all right, let me try to learn the solo, and then something occurred to me. I thought, you know what? I do a lot of song analysis, and you guys are kind enough to watch it and interact with it. Well, I know there are some of you who play the guitar. Maybe we could learn that solo together. And the song is called Bestie. I'm like, what better song to do that? So what I'm gonna do in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to play that solo, and we're gonna start very slow. If you are not an advanced player, if you're not even an intermediate player, that's not a concern because we're gonna start with like less than half the speed, right? And then we'll try to build speed up as we go as much as we possibly can. And what I want to do in about, let's say, a month or two is that I'm going to ask you guys to send me your videos if you want to. And I'll react to your video and I'll see what you've done. And I might even give you some feedback on how you're playing the guitar. And we can chit chat in the community section. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, go to the community section where we interact on text. And we can just figure out when we're going to do those videos together. If somebody needs more time and things of that nature, we can coordinate it there. Now, I've got a couple of resources for you to help you to learn it. Obviously, this video is one resource, but the second resource I have for you is this, and I prepared this myself for you. Check this out. I've actually scored the solo because when I Googled online, I couldn't find a score sheet for this solo online for you guys to be able to read and play. I'm going to put the link to this file, a downloadable link, in the description of this video, and you can just download it for free. Like, this is not, I'm not trying to sell you anything. It's just a resource for you guys so you can hopefully learn the solo a little better. And thirdly, I'm going to put a link to a metronome also in the description, and obviously no practice is good practice without a metronome. Metronome is super important because it helps us to stay on time and be accurate with our notes and the timing and everything. And you can listen to the original Band-Maid song on YouTube to get a feel for what the solo is if you haven't heard it before. Now, one last thing before we start. You may ask, well, I'm a beginner or I'm an intermediate, and why does it matter? Like, why should I try to learn a song that I know I'm not going to be able to play in its full speed in 2 months? That's a really good question. The answer is because it teaches you a lot. Not only it helps you to speed up a little bit more from where you are, right? Because you got the metronome, right? You can gradually speed up. But also, it teaches you the techniques that you might not have known before. So without further ado, I'm going to play it very slowly on a metronome. And then we're going to go to the score sheet together and I'll explain some of the techniques there. Now, guys, the tuning for this song is dropped down D flat. Basically, what this means is that your first 5 strings are only half a step down. So instead of having E in your first string, it's E flat or D sharp. but then your sixth string is down 3 steps. So it's actually D flat. All right, now let me quickly teach you how each of these techniques are done. This bit is pretty self-explanatory. This bit means a bend and a release, right? So all these arrows up and down are basically bends and releases. Now, when it comes to this bend and releases here, what I want you to do is to put your first 3 fingers on your 3rd string, with the 3rd finger being on the 9th fret. And then what I want you to do is that I want you to do a bit of this motion with your wrist. And what this does, it basically bends your string upwards. Right? And so this is what that technique is. Now, I'm going to give you a quick tip to make it very easy to do. Think of it like this. I'm on the 9th fret right now. If I go to the 11th fret, that's my destination note. So what I want to do is that I want to bend the 9th fret till I get to the 11th fret, basically. The note that is on the 11th fret. So it goes. See that? So that way you can actually aim for the exact note that you're going for. Because the thing is, with bending, you can do more or less. You can go. Right? You can go all the way. It's like a whole spectrum of notes that you got access to. But if you do this, 9 to 11, and then bend, you can hear where you're going. So you just have to keep bending and releasing. And for each bend and release, just pick, do a down pick, all the way to here. If you heard the song, you know exactly what this part is. Yeah, listen to the song. Then the next bit is here. And again, pretty self-explanatory. We're doing triplets, which then takes us to the very last bit, this bit. What are these lines? What do they mean? Well, basically, these are slide lines, right? What this means here is that, say, for example, we want to do the 5th fret on the 5th string and the 7th fret on the 3rd string, right? What I'm doing here is that, obviously, using my first finger, I'm on the 5th fret of the 5th string, but with the back of my pointing finger, I'm also muting the 4th string. So 5th, and then mute 4th. See that? And then I put my 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the 3rd string. And by the way, these 2 notes are the same notes, they're just an octave different. And then what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna strum the 5th, the 4th, and the 3rd string together. Right? Now, this is the fret itself, there's no sliding. What I want you to do is this. So, pick first and slide till you get there. And go back up. Now let's go 2 fret down. Again. Does that make sense? It's just that motion. And that's it, nothing more than that. So all I want you to do is to go to the metronome channel, right? Slow it down till whatever works. Click on start. 3, 4, and just practice it. And then what I'll do to help you guys out even more is that in the community section of the YouTube channel, I'm going to ask you guys, number 1, who's practicing? Comment on it if you are, and if you're willing to do this challenge with me. And then second thing I'll ask you is that, what else do you need for me to help you to learn the solo better and easier, right? So if you choose to do the challenge with me, be sure to comment on it so I know who you are. And if there's anything I can do to help you to learn the solo better, you let me know right there and I'll be able to help you out. And then we can do a whole bunch of cool stuff together. I can feature you guys in my Band-Maid Bestie analysis video. I can comment on your technique, and if I can give you a feedback, I can do that too. There's a whole bunch of fun stuff we can do about it. And if you are not a guitar player and you just enjoy watching these stuff, boy, you're gonna be in for a treat too. So both our guitar player viewers and our non-guitar player viewers can take advantage of it and have a good time. That's about it. Thanks so much for hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.